name's Jennifer Brooks. I'm a history professor at Auburn University. I live in Auburn, in Lee County. But I'm here today as a concerned parent and someone who would very much like my family to stay in Alabama. My husband and I are the sort of people that I would think the state of Alabama would want to attract. We are professionals in a solidly middle-class tax bracket. We bought a home shortly after moving here 6 years ago. My husband was born and raised in South Alabama. And our taxes help support this state government. My 8-year-old daughter benefits from the public school system, and she's become a huge Auburn fan. Until last summer, I really had no cause to imagine that conditions in the state of Alabama might compel us to leave the state, despite the deep roots we've planted in our work, school, and church communities here. But the legislature's enactment of HB 56 changed that. It dramatically shook my faith that our future was secure and safe in this state. You might wonder why that would be, given that my husband, myself, and our daughter are all U.S. citizens. I think the easiest answer, the obvious one, is economics. Both bills are unconstitutional solutions to problems that don't really exist and waste valuable state resources to defend the indefensible. My ability to continue living in this state is tied to the financial health of the state, and the legislature's failure to rectify the egregious mistake of HB 56 by repealing it completely is no vote of confidence in our future. But there are many reasons I'm against HB 658 as any sort of solution, but I'm here today because my objections are also far more personal. I'm afraid that the destructive climate created over the past months by the enactment of HB 56 and the careless and insensitive remarks some legislators have made in its defense will only be perpetuated by HB 658. This climate has affected my child. My daughter is Asian. She was born in China. And she's the sort of kid who wakes up every morning ready to go, and you better get out of her way if you're not ready to go. We have worked hard to make sure that she understands all the reasons she should be proud of who she is and her country of origin, as well as being proud of being an American citizen and an Alabama resident. So it was deeply disturbing to us when she came home from school this year carrying stories about ugly comments some of her classmates had started making to her because she was Chinese, and about comments she was overhearing being directed at a new girl who had recently moved to Auburn directly from China. To my daughter, it was a shock, an unwelcome one, to realize that someone might not like her simply because she was from China, because she looked different. Believe me, it was hard to explain it to her. Fortunately, our principal and teachers at the school have been very supportive in this. So I guess what I'm saying is I want you to understand that it's not only the letter of the law in these immigration bills that matter, but it's also the spirit behind them. Now, I support immigration reform at the national level that is just, humane, and fair. I do not support legislation that demonizes people because of who they are. Approaching the issue of immigration in such a negative, damaging, and mean-spirited fashion when the state could approach it much differently is inexcusable. Now, unlike many families in Alabama, mine doesn't have to worry about being separated because of these bills. I don't have to drive around being afraid of forgetting to turn my headlights on or having a busted tail light. I don't have to wonder if my parents are coming home today. But I do have to worry about the climate that has been created for my daughter. She has a right to feel proud of who she is. She has a right to not be racially profiled. And as her parent and a citizen of Alabama, I have a right to demand a better answer to this dilemma, HB 658. The state of Alabama should be far more invested in keeping people like my family in this state rather than creating reasons for us to leave. Thank you.